welcome to the Obscured State Podcast with me, Kyle Harris, the only one this week. Well, today, I guess we're going to have one out this week, but all thanks to Rich, who is now coming on and helping out edit the podcast. Thank you to him. It's going to be a huge help to be able to get the podcast and Obscured State episodes out. Where we go and search these old abandoned buildings and take video and also pictures and try to get a little history behind them and, keep that both sides of the coin here of Obscured State going. Podcasting really, I don't know which one you could necessarily say it takes longer, but I would say podcasting definitely is more time consuming, especially when you're trying to really stick to a schedule and you really want, that side to grow and you want both sides to grow. So, Rich helping me out with that. It's going to already, helping me delve back into the editing of the Urbex videos. So, started on that last night. Well, started finishing one that I had started, and then this whole podcast thing started going, and just kind of lose track of stuff that way. And then when Eric was gone, but that is another thing that needs to be said, is that Eric is back, which I am extremely happy about. Never really wanted him to not be in an Obscured State before. It was just a really weird situation. Stuff with phones got locked out of accounts. He was way across the United States on the west side of the United States. Got back to town, and then I finally linked up with him, and we had a conversation, and I'm glad to have him back. I was gonna let him leave if he wanted to. Because that's what I figured, but no, he's back. We've already hit a few locations. We hit one with Rich. Some of those locations, you're probably seeing now, because we're just going to start posting stuff to Facebook too. Just little short videos or little, pictures and stuff to show you that we're out there and we are doing this. And, it keeps the interest up too. Before I was, much more secretive, but until we release the episode. But you know what? Just the way things are nowadays, you just need to be pushing content, all the time. So that's what we're going to try to do here. We're already cooking up other ideas for other side podcasts, basically, that we could kind of do. I don't know if you heard that, but that was my stomach. So we got some neat ideas cooking up for that. Want to bounce back to some of the places that we explored. One of them was the prison that you guys may have seen pictures from, which was an incredible experience. Glad I could go to prison the way we did, not the way most people go to prison. Now I can say I've been in prison and I didn't have to stay. So, actually, somebody was saying that they took tours of prisons or jails or something when in grade school, and that did not happen for me here in Holland, at least that I can remember, and you would think that would be something that I would remember. But that was not my experience. I've never really even seen the inside of one, never had to sit in a drunk tank before. So that was a humbling experience. When we post the pictures in some sort of groups and stuff, and then everybody asks where it's at. This place was if it's somewhere like Parchment Paper Mill, where it's an urbexing playground and people go there all the time. There's graffiti everywhere. Everybody knows about it. Yeah, I have no problem telling you where that's at. But when we run into a place like we did, where there's basically one tag throughout the whole place, one person's insignia or whatever, you could see no, obviously this place isn't a huge hot spot. I would rather keep it preserved that way. Some people find that stupid, but when half the people are asking you where it's at and your profile picture is you in front of a huge graffiti memorial, odds are I'm not going to tell you where it's at. Just, I mean, and it may be great graffiti. And when we go into places that have a lot of graffiti, I'm going to admire the graffiti that's there. But if we go into a place that has nothing, I'm going to admire that and like to leave it like that. And you find, your other canvases elsewhere where people have already kind of started. You know, I can see both sides of the coin, though. I can see walking in as somebody that does graffiti like that and being like, wow, look at my whole canvas I have here. I can do whatever I want. But, at the same time, a place like this, just keep it like it is. Of course, if you've been to that prison before and you did time there, you'd probably be saying otherwise. But, hey, for what we do and what we look for, we'd rather keep it that way. The other place we were at too was this was just a couple days ago. Me and Eric, Rich came with us that last one. Me and Eric took off and we went to found an abandoned mall, and that was really fun. That was, obviously prison probably takes the cake so far, but this place was also had its own things about it that made it fun, made it interesting. Just like we were saying, like half the time, like just getting into the place is fulfilling. Like, and it's just like, oh man, just is half the fun. Just trying to get in too and find the way in. This place actually didn't even have any signs for like no trespassing and stuff like that. That I seen. There could have been one, but I didn't see nothing. And this is a place also that there was graffiti there, but I was surprised at how little there actually was. There's more like writings and stuff like that. So in light of doing the Urbex videos, doing the podcast, thinking of other maybe side pods to do with that, other videos and stuff, something I've been tossing around in my head was, maybe starting a Patreon or something. But then again, we're really kind of, it's not like we've been around for forever. I almost, I'm the type of person that would reserve that for like if you've been doing this for years and for free and whatever, then maybe you start your Patreon. But on the other side of me is like, fuck it, dude. Shit ain't like it was, man. Shit, when you play music, used to be you just get on stage and just play around until people hear you. Now you fucking have a whole album art, your band pictures, everything's already done before you even hit the stage. So, shit, with this, I have tons of ideas, but, it's going to take up some time, too, and some more money to pull some of them off. So, I figured maybe why not start a Patreon at like maybe $3 or, $5 a month and get you guys some extra content, get you guys some extra parts of interviews with the pod, a whole separate podcast we were thinking, maybe doing with the Patreon, with like me, Eric, and Rich, extra video clips and pictures and stuff that you can download and use for whatever, stuff like that. That's what we were thinking. At least I'm thinking, and actually, yeah, I'm thinking about it right now, and gotta talk to them about it. But hey, whatever. I think they're good ideas, and you got Patreon coming in that can help, utilize to pay for some of those ideas and help us get to some of these locations that we're really scouting out and looking to get to. Because don't forget, a lot of just like bands, I relate a lot of things to music, and I have a lot of music people on the podcast right now because I come from that. So, just like with music, you still got to pay for the gas to get there. All of your instruments. We could go into great detail on how much that costs a musician, just getting to shows and the cost of their gear, and you see the memes where you have $5,000 or whatever in gear and this much money in gas, and to play a show to get free beer and $5 or whatever. That's just kind of how it is, and by all means, do we not feel that way because we like doing what we do. Then by all means, do as when I was a musician, I've hated it. I wanted to do it. I put myself in that predicament. So just like we are now. But hey, that's an idea we're throwing around there. I don't know if any of you would be interested in something like that. Maybe you could let us know. Drop a comment and let us know what you think. Of course, some people will probably just be like, "Fuck you, I ain't paying for shit," which you don't have to because there's always going to be free stuff. We're always going to put out the podcast. We're always going to do the videos and stuff on YouTube. But what we'd really like is for you guys to maybe, share around some of the Urbex videos too with your friends, and maybe invite your friends to the YouTube channel. I would say YouTube is kind of more important for us because we're a video, film based thing here. I guess what you call it. We're kind of like a YouTube channel show or a TV show or a podcast, and so we're getting with video. So a lot of it revolves around video and filming. So YouTube, I would say, is more of a push, and if we could get our likes from Facebook, which now the last I checked was like 400, over like 402, something like that, 400. To our subscribers on YouTube, that would be awesome because right now on YouTube we got like 86, which is like 14 away from being able to brand the channel with youtube.com/obscured state. Right now we just have youtube.com/big long link. It'd be nice to just be like, okay, you guys just go to youtube.com/obscured state, just like you do for Facebook, So we're almost there though. We're almost to the 100 marker, which is what we need. So yeah, as I was saying here, damn, I had a few problems last podcast. Now I'm having problems with this one. Just interruption earlier, and then my battery just died in the old camera. So, anyways, you wanna you help us out with that, with the sharing and inviting people to like the page, accepting your invite to like the page, all that stuff definitely goes a long way. I think I'm gonna zoom this in one more. All right. There we go. I think we're back to where we were, maybe. So yeah. Just this little bit. Of course, when you move back, you gotta readjust everything. Okay. So, other than that, with the podcast, we got more guests coming. Like I said, there's going to be one out this week, which is going to be the first one with Rich in it, helping out on the... God damn it. Fucker. Helping out with the computer stuff and being that second or that third voice in the room too. Is always nice having that third voice. We got some... Sorry, I heard some stuff. Probably my daughter again. So we have some... Yeah, it is. What are you doing? You got your fire chief hat on? Yeah. You're crazy. You're crazy. Dad's almost done with this, okay? So I'll be upstairs as soon as I'm done, okay? And then I'll plug in your tablet. All right? Okay? All right. Head on back up, okay? Huh? Yeah, you are. are a firefighter with your fire chief hat on. All right, quicker you go upstairs, the quicker I'll be done, okay? Thank you. So we do got some awesome segments that we're coming up with now. Kind of spice up the podcast a little bit. Something I wanted to do to just, I don't know, give it some more life, I guess. I mean, I like the podcast the way it is, and I like the long form discussions and stuff like that, but I wanted just a little something else in it. So we'll have that. And so just some overall faster turnarounds on the podcast is what I'm hoping for. Hoping for be able to take in maybe some more guests at a time and just get those podcasts, start cranking them out here instead of waiting, a week or two between, which I'm trying to keep them out a week. So, between filming is what I mean by that. So sometimes it's a little dated material, but I try to, when we do the podcast, try to just kind of stay out of really current events. Although, one of our segments now is kind of on that, so that's why it might seem a little dated. But nonetheless, the message and what we are trying to do is still there. So, other than that, really, that's kind of what's been going on, directions that I think we're headed. But I did have one interesting thing to talk about really quick. As I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast with Willie D from the Ghetto Boys, and he was talking about a documentary that's going to be coming out that he's a part of the first of the year, around there. So obviously not going into too much detail, but really intriguing, talking about, people of power or whatever, taking control of black people or taking away their message, I guess is what you could say. Here we go. Get me from looking down. So basically, what he was saying without saying it and saying who and whatever is that it's not just like people of government, but it's like, the executives and stuff too of like the music industry and whatever, basically trying to like kill hip hop and kill their voices in hip hop. So the most relatable thing to that would be mumble rap, which I can't stand mumble rap. I like rap. I like hip hop. I like beats too, like trap music. When trap kind of came out and it was just beats, I was like, oh wow, this is like right up my alley. But I really like raps to it, but I like flows and I like meaning behind it. I don't like the mumble rap, so that's why I've kind of strayed away from it. I don't like it. And but basically, if you look around and see the ones that are being signed, they all have the same aura or mentality, or rapping. The way they rap is by mumbling, just that mumble, and you can't really discern a message from that, which in turn eliminates the message from black people. And he said you turn around and you look at the top kind of white artists and that are rapping now, which you'd think like for a little while there was like Macklemore, and you think like Token and stuff like that. You can easily you can distinguish what they're saying. They have a message behind their music. So kind of correlating that with what is being pushed down our throats. Again, it's not even just media industries. With that being pushed down our throats is just the mumble rap. They are effectively eliminating their voice and their message from that music. And I thought it was a really interesting take on it. And I'll kind of leave with you guys with that to chew over. And I'm going to go take care of my daughter here, who is like, really wants me to go upstairs and check out this fire hat or something. I don't know. I was just up there. I would have just tried to do, what was this? It's going to end up not even being a half-hour podcast, but that's all right. I wanted to do a half hour, but we can do like 25 minutes or something. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening on all the platforms. We really appreciate it here, and stick around for more to come. Thanks.